And good evening from this magnificent stadium, which is about to play host to its first Champions League match since the 2001 final. AC Milan are back in the competition after a one-year absence and face the French runners-up from last season, Racing Club de Lens. Hello from me, Derek Ray. Seamus Malin is with me for our coverage tonight on ESPN. Seamus, Group G is among the toughest.
Well, I think it might very well be the toughest, and if you are Lens, it is Group G as in grim, because look at the opposition that Lens is faced with. Today, of course, Milan, and after that, the likes of Bayern Munich and Deportivo La Coruña. For Milan, of course, it offers an opportunity, albeit a tough one, to get back to the glory days of the early 90s when they were in 3 successive Champions League finals.
And AC Milan feel they have a few scores to settle this term. Last season, they lurched from one crisis to another, but it's a brand new squad for the new campaign. They haven't been afraid to delve into the transfer markets. Carlo Ancelotti, very confident indeed. And why not with Rivaldo now leading the attack?
Well, they have strengthened the team in ways absolutely unimaginable, right up the spine of this side. Rivaldo up front, a tremendous acquisition from Barcelona. Then at the back, Alessandro Nesta, arguably one of the top 2 or 3 central defenders in the game around the world today. And then for good measure, a battler and scrapper on Clarence Seedorf in the middle of the park, and a player who loves to come forward and get some goals.
And it doesn't end there. Dario Simic, the Croatian international, has joined the club, as has the Dane Jon Dahl Tomasson from Feyenoord, Sam Dallabona, who was with Chelsea last week, and goalkeeper Dida, the Brazilian, back from Corinthians. He was there on loan. What about their opponents tonight, Racing Club de Lens? Short of experience at this level, and their cause hasn't been helped by the fact that El Hadji Diouf has joined Liverpool.
Well, it's a terrific move for him, of course, but a real blow to Lens. He was so instrumental for club and country, and will make a new mark for himself in the Premiership. But they do have Papa Bouba Diop, who of course made a name for himself with that never-to-be-forgotten goal against France in the World Cup. And Daniel Morera, the local product, leading scorer for them last season, he is going to be asking the question of who is going to join me up front to go poaching the goals that we need against the likes of Milan.
But no doubt about it, a tough test in store for Lens this evening. Here at the intimidating San Siro, AC Milan against Racing Club de Lens. Will have it for you after this short break. AC Milan are delighted to be back in the Champions League. The recent record in this competition doesn't make for impressive reading, however. Just 1 victory in the last 7 Champions League games. In fact, they've drawn 5 Champions League home games on the bounce. A chance then to atone for that poor record against the French runners-up from last season, Lens. AC Milan make 1 change to the team that beat Modena 3-0 on Saturday. Jon Dahl Tomasson drops to the bench so that Rivaldo can start his first match for the club. Goalkeeper Dida, the Brazilian, is in at the expense of Christian Abbiati.
Well, it's a team packed with wonderful talent, and we look forward to seeing Rivaldo with his first start for Milan.
For Lens, left-back Cyril Hol is suspended, and that means a bit of juggling with the back 4. Senegalese newcomer Abdoulaye Diagne Faye is drafted in, and there's a recall for Mali international Adama Koulibaly.
Well, we talked about who would be up front with Morera, and it looks like the answer is nobody. They're going to play a 4-5-1 by the looks. That makes for a struggle, but it'd be very interesting to see if, in fact, Diagne Faye does play at the back, because he's been a front player and a midfield player, and one in his home country of Senegal.
Quick look at the benches for AC Milan. As we said, Abbiati misses out. Tomasson did start at the weekend, on the bench tonight for AC Milan. And Rivaldo takes pride of place. It's a glorious night, I must say, here in northern Italy. So we get ready for AC Milan against Racing Club de Lens. All the officials tonight hail from Greece. The referee is the man who represented his country at the World Cup finals in the Far East, Kyros Vasaras. This is a very strong-looking AC Milan side. Pippo Inzaghi will lead the attack. 5 Africans in the starting 11 for Racing Club de Lens.
Yes, and I counted 5 Italians in the Milan side, so it's a very international side from the Italian representative.
Carlo Ancelotti, hard to believe he's still only 44. He seems to have been around forever. Assistant to Arrigo Sacchi at the World Cup finals in 1994. His opposite number, Joël Müller, guiding Lens to second position in France last season. Alessandro Nesta, other of the big money buys during the summer. A very busy summer it was in this city. Well, when last Lens were in the Champions League, they gave a fairly good account of themselves. They actually beat Arsenal away from home in their last Champions League game, which was in '98. But this is a very difficult task for them.
Well, it is, and they did not score a lot of goals your last time around, averaging less than one a match. Never scoring more than one, in fact, so got to do better than that now.
Well, bit of confusion right at the start. Breakdown in communication between referee and players. Now we're in business, and AC Milan's powerful new-look squad gives plenty of ammunition to those who say Italian fortunes must surely improve in the Champions League this season. But they will underestimate Lens at their peril. This is, after all, a group with no easy games. AC Milan attacking the goal to our left in this first half. Andrea Pirlo in the centre of midfield. Early touch activity for Rivaldo. Back to Alessandro Nesta. Simic at right back. Thomas Helveg is still out because of injury. Dislocated his collarbone. And that was a bit dodgy. Wasn't terribly secure. Kaladze was there to mop up. It was Nesta who seemed to be dithering in the centre of the AC Milan defence, Seamus.
Yes, it was, and of course he's still probably getting used to a little bit of his teammates' expectations here, but there is the first heavy challenge dished out on Rivaldo.
That's Jacek Bonk, the Polish international defender, letting Rivaldo know he's there. Rui Costa. Very difficult first season with AC Milan last time around. Hoping things will take a turn for the better. Paolo Maldini playing as a central defender here alongside Alessandro Nesta. Rino Gattuso. And Rivaldo did wonderfully well to trap it. And they're snatching at the shot.
Inzaghi taking a good position wide left here. You see him dropping down to your screen. And actually, he was also, typically for him, somewhat offside, but it was indeed deflected away for a corner.
And it's the first corner of the night. And it's Pirlo with the delivery. Staunch rearguard action from Racing Club de Lens. Pirlo again, the AC Milan playmaker. Not much joy so far for Moreira and Sibierski up front for Lens. Shevchenko, of course, still out. He's likely to be out for 3 or 4 more weeks because of the knee problem. Helveg, we mentioned, Jose Chamot, and the Brazilian Roque Jr. He could well be out until December.
And as you mentioned, Abbiati is on the bench, so available in goal should that become necessary, but maybe not 100% fit yet to take the starting position, which we thought he probably would get back from Dida.
Clarence Seedorf. Still takes a bit of getting used to. Clarence Seedorf in AC Milan colours. Signed during the summer from city rivals Inter. €20 million the price. Back to Dida. Remember one awful blunder Dida made in a Champions League game against Leeds United a couple of seasons ago.
That cost them the game. A 1-0 result. I think it was late in the game. Let a not very difficult shot slip under him.
Now Rui Costa, confronted by Abdoulaye Diagne Faye, the uncapped Senegalese player. Didn't quite work out perfectly for AC Milan that time. Blanchard. Jocelyn Blanchard, the midfielder, now 30. Actually once on the books of Juventus, never really made his mark in Serie A.
A Rigobert song has been released into the middle of the park in the presence of Diana Fay, which is a bit of a surprise in this lineup.
It's gobbled up by Sibierski. Likes to play in the hole just behind the main strikers, Antoine Sibierski. This is Moreira. Very much the local favourite in Lens. He was born and grew up in the area, a mining region of France. Well, it was worth a try. And Seydorf's back there, helping out the defence. Here's Kaladze. Remember, this group also contains Bayern Munich and Deportivo. Pirlo is dropping back to a position in front of the back four. Maldini. Kaladze. Georgian international Rui Costa. And Seydorf. Chase for Inzaghi. And followed by Koulibaly, playing at left back tonight for Lens. It was careless initially by Simic. Did well to get the ball back. And Gattuso sees the decision go his way. Simic in a bit of pain by the look of things. Broken up by the right-back Ferdinand Coly, another member of the Senegalese World Cup side. Seydorf, that high-hanging ball, Inzaghi tried to get his head to it. Gattuso, former Perugia Rangers player, driving force in midfield. Diana Fay and Gattuso, and it will be a Lens ball. 6 minutes on the clock.
Well, and not too surprising that there's so much domination here as we see Diana Fay challenged by Gattuso. Domination by Milan, very comfortable playing here in the stadium. And I must say, some solid, crisp tackling and defending by Lens, just sort of keeping them even at this point.
Seydorf's there again, trying to feed Rivaldo. It's the turn of Lens to get players forward. Haven't seen much of Tormer so far. It comes to Rui Costa. Now Seydorf.
Well, it's pretty obviously going to be defend and counter-attack here. Rivaldo has his legs swept out from under him for the second time in 3 possessions. And the third time was a shot on goal.
Kaladze. Giving Nesta a touch of the ball. Made a Serie A debut for AC Milan at the weekend in the 3-0 win over Modena. And tonight, his first Champions League appearance for his new club. Did well to find Clarence Seydorf. Rivaldo. Kaladze, confronted by Coly. Pirlo again in that very deep position. Now Nesta. Might be something on here for Gattuso. He's hoping to line it up for Inzaghi. He'll try to get Papa Bouba Diop involved. Coly. It's only his 3rd appearance in European club competition. Ferdinand Coly. Simic reaching for it, leaves it for Gattuso. AC Milan have never been beaten at home by French opposition. 9 previous matches against French clubs here. 6 wins, 3 draws.
And Lens have never won a game in Italy, although they've only had 2 opportunities to do it. A draw and a loss to Lazio.
Perfect ball by Rivaldo. Possession, the name of the game here for AC Milan. And to break the resolve of this spirited Racing Club de Lens side.
Well, they're defending in a spirited manner. They obviously just have a very light pressure at this part of the game. One or two players coming up, but once it comes into their half, then they start to pick it up, put the pressure on, and then look for counterattacks, which is probably not a bad tactic given the array of talent that they're facing. Although it is a team, Milan, that is still trying to find that sense, that elusive sense of teamwork that is a challenge when a whole new bunch of players come in.
Simic, one of the newcomers. Missed out Rivaldo, little dummy, Inzaghi. Unable to get through.
Well, we've seen that Rivaldo dummy over the years, haven't we? Both for Barcelona and for Brazil. Used to telling effect at the highest level of the game.
And Lens struggling to even string 3 or 4 passes together. This was the dummy.
And an attempt to play it through after that by Inzaghi. He read it pretty well. He saw it coming, I think, a little bit, but so did the defender, who you could just see there, reacting quite sharply to it.
Diagne. Well, I think Joel Muller was trying to pull a fast one when he displayed the tactical lineup earlier on, because it appears to me, Seamus, that Bonk is actually playing in midfield and Rigobert Song is at the back. He was listed as being a left-sided midfielder tonight, and he never plays there, does he?
We never bought that one. We thought he might be playing as perhaps a screen in front of the back four, but not so. He is very definitely a firm central defender.
Rivaldo settling for the corner kick. Scored 6 goals in the Champions League for Barcelona last season, 10 the season before that. Rivaldo, a real tussle for the ball. Rigobert Song clearing his lines. Cameroon international defender Pirlo. Over the top, and a test here for Guillaume Varmuz, a 32-year-old Lens goalkeeper.
And the captain of the team, showing good leadership there and very confident, though it's a bad giveaway to Rivaldo of all people.
And Rivaldo thought about striking it with his left peg, his preferred foot. Seedorf. And Lens being forced here to get many a player behind the ball.
Well, absolutely, and when they do get the ball and they look forward to somebody, it's usually just Morera, and he's very often coming back towards the play.
Oh, now look at this. Real chance. Gattuso trying to find Rivaldo. Rui Costa, it was, who had made the run on the right, played it in, and rather poorly from Rui Costa. But a goal has been scored at the Olympiastadion in Munich. Deportivo has struck first to Roy Mackay. That's also in this section. Bayern Munich 0, Deportivo La Coruña 1.
Well, that's very impressive stuff by Deportivo La Coruña, who have, over the years, disappointed us with the quality of their play away from home. But what a start for them in the 12th minute, and of all places, the Olympiastadion in Munich. Roy Mackay, who scored some fabulous goals over the year, gets them off to a great start.
A test for the AC Milan defence, and it's worth a shot here, and Morera forcing the save from Dida. Very quick on the turn, Daniel Morera.
It was a great turn, a good shot to the far post, but Dida had it covered very, very well. Well, that time the success was caused by the fact that a number of Lens players pushed forward to support Morera, and he did not have to go running about trying to get himself away from defenders. He could take up a more central position, and he did very well with a chance given to him.
Rui Costa, Gattuso. That with Maldini. Now Kaladze. 13.5 minutes on the clock, no scoring here at the San Siro. Just a reminder, we'll have more Champions League action for you later tonight. You'll be able to see Manchester United against Maccabi Haifa, Israeli standard bearers, in the Champions League for the first time. What a way to begin the trip to Old Trafford.
Yeah. Which is, of course, where the Champions League will end up in late May. May 28th, I think, is the final at Old Trafford this time around. And if Sir Alex wanted to be in Scotland last year, you can bet all the more he wants to be at Old Trafford in late May.
This is Pirlo. Opting for the long ball approach this time. Aware that Gattuso had made the run. And Abdoulaye Diagne bumping and barging, at least that was the opinion of the Greek referee Kyros Vasaras.
Well, I know, it's a pretty even tussle between the two of them. But Gattuso is no angel. He's a heck of a battler. He's one of the players carrying a yellow card from earlier rounds of the Champions League.
Andrea Pirlo with the free kick. Safety first. Simic holding his position. Rui Costa. Gattuso sees the decision go his way. It's been quite a tussle already between the pair of them, Gattuso and Diagne. Diagne, who, as we said, didn't represent Senegal at the World Cup finals. Senegalese players ever more in vogue after what they did in the Far East. Colli, another member of the Senegalese contingent.
Yeah, 3 from Senegal, 1 from Mali, 1 from Cameroon.
Almost a half chance that time for Sibiewski. Looking menacingly, trying to dovetail with Moreira. Looking for scraps at the moment. Seedorf. Rivaldo. Seedorf, the Dutchman, couldn't get there. Bonk is trying to carry out a very important role here for Lens, just in front of the defence. Vastly experienced. Bonk, the Polish international. And a slip.
You know, one thing that struck me already about Rivaldo, Derek, he seems to want a bit more time on the ball, and he's not going to get that in the Serie A for sure. He got a little bit more of it in La Liga, but even Falcao, the great Brazilian player, said lately that Rivaldo is going to find it very tough going in Serie A because he'll have a player breathing down his neck every time he's on the ball. Well, so far tonight, he's been pretty tightly marked, and looks like he's not quite adjusted to it yet.
Nesta. Simic. Calls kindly for Papa Bouba Diop. And to make the adventurous run, did rather well, Sibiewski. And Diop was in there. Goes to ground, that's a corner. Challenge from Alessandro Nesta.
Well, we've seen Nesta make this challenge successfully so many times. What a wonderful run from Diop, getting behind the back and just getting a touch in there is Nesta. He does follow through, obviously taking down Diop, but the referee quite properly gives nothing there despite all the whistles from the crowd. That's a very good, talented tackle from the master of the late tackle in the box, Alessandro Nesta.
First corner then for Racing Club de Lens. And a bit of panic creeping in at the back for AC Milan. Inzaghi gets it away. Seedorf wins a free kick.
Yeah, he did. He drew that beautifully, didn't he? Watch him touch it away here. He knows the challenge has already been committed to by number 23, Diagne. And then he's got no choice but to bowl him over. As you say, Diagne is a player who's now listed and has been playing at left back, although allegedly he played at forward for Jeanne d'Arc in Dakar in Senegal, and maybe even some midfield for a while, but now he's playing left back.
Pirlo. No problems encountered by the Racing Club de Lens defence. Header from Kaladze. Pirlo. Rui Costa. And Colli came across from his right fullback position to meet him. And down goes Sibiewski.
That was Kaladze coming in with a tough tackle from the back, from his left fullback position there. He's the Georgian international, former Dynamo Kiev player. Well, he's a very skilled player, but obviously not everybody agrees with the intent there. Been a good competitive game so far. Lens now beginning to do a lot better than it looked in the early going when they were back on their heels.
Pirlo. Seedorf getting tangled up with Colli. Pirlo again. And to spray that long pass to Inzaghi comes to Rui Costa. Still Rui Costa. Perhaps over-egging the pudding.
I liked his decision, though. He was being guided to the outside, and he made a little dip of his shoulders to go that way, and then cut into the middle nicely. Unfortunately, a second defender had filled in nicely in anticipation of it, but Rui Costa is a goal-for-goal kind of person, that close to the penalty area.
Bonk all the way out to the right to Colli. And that was over the touchline, I think. Error in judgment by Ferdinand Colli.
Well, he was expected to be going to a big club after his great World Cup for Senegal, but it never happened.
Seedorf for AC Milan. Rivaldo's there! And straight at Barmuz. He makes it look so effortless, though, doesn't he? Rivaldo.
Oh, yes. He spun beautifully there. Pulled it away from him and then hooked it in looking for that near post, but you got to credit the good positioning there of Barmuz, the captain. Does not get lured away towards the far post. Holds his ground well. And the late challenge by the defender helped make the shot a little bit predictable. Koulibaly.
Kaladze for AC Milan. Finding Alessandro Nesta.
Now, Derek, Inzaghi hasn't had a touch to speak of yet. And it will be interesting to see how he deals with that.
Seedorf, well, there's another slip by Inzaghi. But well, Rivaldo. And soft pass, he thought Kaladze would have made the run. Seedorf. Bit of frustration creeping in.
Well, he very definitely thought he was held back by Koulibaly there, Seedorf did. But prior to that, there's just a little bit of mistiming in there between Kaladze and Rivaldo, as well as Inzaghi. So again, the timing is not perfect. They haven't played a match together, really, that trio, as Rivaldo is making his first start, having had just a substitute appearance so far against Modena on a 3-0 easy victory this weekend in the opener of Serie A.
Midway through this first half, no scoring at the San Siro. AC Milan back in the Champions League after a one-year absence. This really has been a fierce head-to-head battle. Colli and Seedorf.
Well, Colli showed that fantastic determination in his play and his adventurous play going forward as well in the World Cup.
Job able to intercept that loose ball. Couldn't do anything with it, however. Gattuso, the supporting player, tried to feed Rui Costa again. Sibiewski. Lens haven't been terribly quick on the counter-attack. Not all that speedy on the break. But they have a free kick here. Challenge from Simic.
Well, there's one thing Italian teams know to do. It's how to defend the counter-attack, because they see it so much in Serie A, and you can see the Milan players, they stream back. But it's not just a random flight. It's really very intelligent in the way they fill the gaps as early as possible in the middle of the field, so they don't have to go all the way back to their own penalty area.
Jocelyn Blanchard with the free kick for Lens. Kaladze did his job. Pressure, though, on Maldini. Colli's there. Deciding to go forward this time. Diop onto the ball all too easily. Then went Rui Costa. Pirlo. Simic. Rui Costa. Inzaghi going after it. It will be a loss ball this time.
Tell you, the wide defenders are showing that they can play the game, aren't they? The Lens wide defenders are doing extremely well. Both Colli and Diagne have been very tough to get around the outside of.
They can ill afford to make mistakes deep inside their own half.
That's right.
One mistake in this type of match could be costly. Pirlo. Rui Costa. Now Gattuso. As Diagne for company. Rui Costa. And Diagne sticking to him like glue. Free kick.
I think the elbow comes in here, yeah, right up under his chin. Diagne seeing that he was deeply in trouble there for the first time when they got 2 against 1 over there. And he committed the foul. The assistant referee wisely getting the flag up quickly. That's an interesting tussle. 2 great tussles on the flanks here as Lens defend desperately.
And Seedorf! A man who has a flair for the dramatic. And there's evidence of it. That would have been something absolutely spectacular. And right out of the top drawer from the Dutchman.
Well, a bit of a surprise from Pirlo. That is great stuff. Absolutely what you love to see. We expect to see in the Champions League, but what acrobatic effort. Vormus not troubled by it as it did sail well past the post. But great stuff from the Dutchman.
Well, who, of course, tasted success against AC Milan when he was with Ajax. Won the Champions League back in '95. See if Sibierski and Moreira can team up. Sibierski has himself a free kick.
Well, that's Seedorf reaching in with the professional foul. Sibierski did a nice job going against the run of Seedorf's check back, and Seedorf stuck a boot in to be sure he didn't get by him. I've seen yellows come out for that.
So a tense moment here for AC Milan. Don't have an awful lot to worry about at the back. And it's Blanchard with the drive. Streaming wide of the right-hand post of Dida. Was beautifully struck by Jocelyn Blanchard.
It looked like it took a bit of a dip too. Is there a deflection here? No, but this, well, maybe not as much. It was off target by more than we initially thought. But there was a slight touch as it went through, but it was a dead ball and dropping. It was not spinning very much. And I think Dida looked a little unsure on that one. Although he may have guessed that it was already well wide. Seedorf, that's a good decision. He botched the attempt to keep it in play.
Sibierski trying to find Tomer. Struggled to, I think, deal with the pace of the game so far. For those of you in Latin America, remind you about our weekly panel discussion program, Fuera de Juego. Join Luis Tapia and comrades. All the hot football topics of the week. That's each and every Friday here on ESPN, for those of you in Latin America only. It would help if you speak Spanish if you're going to watch that program.
That's right.
Throw from Colli for Lens. Beginning to find their feet here, Racing Club de Lens. Took very few chances in the opening 10 or 15 minutes. Starting to open up just a bit.
Yeah, they need to get a bit more out of Diop, though. When he comes forward, his explosive pace in that left side channel out of midfield can turn defenders around.
Long throw from Colli. Diop had made his way forward into the area. Blanchard watching it trickle over the Dutch line. Colli with the throw. And Seedorf and Kaladze treating the balls out with a hot potato. Diop, one of the stars of the World Cup finals for Senegal. It's Colley's throw. Diop's in there, as is Domer. Colley comes off second best, losing out to Rui Costa. Now Rivaldo. Trying to feed people. Inzaghi, it was almost perfect. The defenders were scrambling back. And the referee spots a bit of foul play this time.
That was a great ball from Rivaldo. It looked like he was setting up his favourite left foot, but he fooled everybody by switching quickly to the right foot and almost perfectly picked out Inzaghi with his nice diagonal run through the box.
Once again, AC Milan thwarted by this resolute Lens defence. It's offside. First, by my calculations, offside decision in this match. Been playing for almost half an hour at the San Siro. 0-0. This Group G game unfolding. Kaladze. Inzaghi with the back heel. Rivaldo is almost there. Gattuso. Oh, that's Gattuso right across the face of the goal. And he really skinned Domer. Didn't have much of an idea about that. Just overhitting the cross, however.
Yeah, tremendous pace by Gattuso, though. I love the absolute competitive enthusiasm that he went after that ball with and made a great run around the back. Look at the possession edge.
Seedorf now for AC Milan. Took a deflection. Wouldn't fall for Rivaldo. Sobieski and Moreira again. Colley.
You know, the possession edge is heavily 60-40 for Milan, but I have to say that Lens are really trying to do something productive with their possession when they take it. They're coming at Milan at times with more than just the one striker, other players coming through from the midfield. It's a good competitive atmosphere here, something that was sadly lacking yesterday when we saw Liverpool away from home doing such a poor job at Valencia.
So by no means being run ragged here. Lens. Blanchard. It's his 25th appearance in European club competition. Colley. Came off Pirlo. All the way back to Rigobert Song. Spent last season languishing with the bottom club in Germany, Köln. Forward by Rui Costa. All the way through to Guillaume Vermuz. 0-0. 13 minutes left in the first half. This is Colley. And that was careless. Take it straight to Rui Costa. Mistiming the pass intended for Blanchard. Rivaldo. Now Pirlo. Gattuso working up a full head of steam. He's looking for Rivaldo, just waiting to his left. Now Kaladze. Second crack of the whip for Kaladze, and he's in again thanks to the back heel from Rui Costa. Rivaldo. Three defenders around him. Very quickly for Lens. Rui Costa. Hoping to find Inzaghi, unable to do so. Back with Maldini. Gattuso powering over to this near side of the field.
He's everywhere, isn't he? Pirlo also does a tremendous job too. Pirlo is playing a wonderful position right in front of the back four for Milan, but he's always available.
Simic is misfiring with that pass. Koulibaly out on the left. That will be a goal kick. Came off Arino Gattuso.
Oh, it's that lovely little play from Rui Costa. Beautifully continued. Lovely stuff. Almost beats the defence. It's been almost a situation of almost for Milan. The centre of the defence at times buckling a bit for Lens.
Now the Milan defence under a bit of pressure. Domer. Jousting with Nesta. I think it goes against Olivier Domer. Signed during the summer from Le Mans of the second division.
Well, he's Paris-born and spent 3 years with Le Mans Division 2, but he certainly doesn't give the impression of a Division 2 player. It looks very comfortable fitting into this Lens side. It's a combative, high-energy team, without any question.
Rather unfortunate to be in the so-called group of death. They've kept things tight here in the opening 34 minutes. It's a touch of climbing, spotted by the Greek referee Kyros Vasaras, and Inzaghi as the recipient of the free kick.
A little bit lucky, I think, to get this one. Okay, the arm is coming down. Maybe that's what it's all about, but he was trying to make the jump and then Inzaghi backed into him. You could make that case.
So Koulibaly penalised for that. Rui Costa. Again, getting no peace from Macaulay. Rui Costa again. Width on the right provided by Simic. Nesta. This is Pirlo. Seedorf. Foxt. Tomer makes his way forward now. Moreira and Sibierski, the supporting players. Straight through to Dida. No problems.
Well, they're good runs forward by Sibierski, who's really trying to help out the lone front player, Moreira. But they do need the surging runs, though. They get it. They're getting him now from a couple of players.
Inzaghi for Rivaldo. And that's Bonk, as we said, playing just in front of the defence. Trying to pick up Rivaldo at every opportunity. Diagne Faye. Journey forward for Abdoulaye Diagne Faye. Simic covering up. Pirlo. Rui Costa. Inzaghi. Always on the move. And well, free kick decision goes his way. At times you wonder with Inzaghi. You do wonder if he's being 100% honest.
Yeah, he goes down very, very easily. But there certainly was a lot of pressure from the back. Koulibaly very much on top of him. I thought Koulibaly got a rough decision against him a moment ago on a header, but I think I quarreled too much with that one. Even though I agree with you, there are times when you wonder about people Inzaghi. You said there was only one offside so far, and that was against Lens. And been 37 minutes on the park, and Inzaghi hasn't been offside yet. That's
a minor miracle in itself.
It is, yes. Good defending by Lens up to now, though. Very compact, very tight, very Italian, you might say.
Well, Rivaldo and Pirlo locked in conversation. This will be a very inviting angle, you would think, for Rivaldo. Eight minutes to go in the first half. No scoring at the San Siro. All eyes on Rivaldo. And the Brazilian takes aim. Well, Vermoes relieved to see it drift wide.
Well, this thing is hooking, but it obviously doesn't get enough swerve on it, and Vermoes not trouble. In fact, Vermoes hasn't really had to make a save of note that I can recall. One high ball he had to pluck out of the air. Well, that shot was really not from the top drawer that we've seen Rivaldo produce in the past.
This man is really holding his own at the back, Abdoulaye Diagne Faye. He's been extremely busy. Rui Costa slipping it to Pirlo. Missed out Gattuso altogether. Diagne Faye concedes a corner.
Well, he was trying to set it up for himself for just a volley back over his head. Quick corner.
Taken short by Rui Costa. Portuguese international gets it back. Rivaldo's in the centre, so is Inzaghi. And that will be another corner kick to the home side.
Yeah, they can't get behind them, can they? They've tried very hard on the right and left side, where they just cannot get behind that last defender. Good, intelligent decision there, made by Pirlo.
And it's Pirlo with the corner. And Seedorf rather off balance. Rivaldo was in the thick of the action as well. Seedorf tried to make a bit of contact here with the head. No scoring then. For those of you in the Pacific Rim, just a reminder about our weekly Press Pass programme. You can join the team, the panel, JP Della Camera, Tommy Smith, Eddie Mighton and Mike Hill for quality football discussion. That's every Friday on ESPN. Friday night if you're in the Sydney area.
And the occasional absurd opinion.
You said it. I'm saying nothing about that whatsoever.
That's all right. It's all in good fun.
A little bit more than 5 minutes to go in the first half. Buba Diop splashed in and out of the game. And Maldini with that challenge and a yellow card as he went in on Moreira. The AC Milan skipper is cautioned by the Greek referee, Kyros Vasaras. Seamus Marlon.
Well, Maldini is normally withdrawn in this kind of challenge. And he does look like he may have gotten the decision because he pulled the legs out from under him after the ball was pulled away. But Maldini couldn't have known that. He saw so much of the ball. But it was a bit of a rash challenge by Maldini. He had plenty of cover.
And we saw Blanchard let fly a few minutes ago. It was slightly closer to the goal than this one. Moreira is normally the man who takes it. It's Sibieski this time. And a daisy cutter. Meat and drink to Dida.
There were some criticisms of Maldini at the World Cup, of course, as we see the shot from Sibieski, which really was a pretty fluffy ball. Took about 15 bounces before it got to Dida. But there were some criticisms of Maldini, of course, on the winning goal, which nobody wants to talk about too much anymore. South Korean goal. All kinds of finger pointing there, not just at the referees, although there was a lot of that too.
Yeah, it's Gattuso. Seedorf continues to run into a brick wall, and Seedorf spoken to by Kyros Vasaras. Not very happy with the decision that goes against him, taking the legs away from Domer.
Yeah, he makes a huge lunge to get at the ball, but it's the left leg that comes clattering through in the back too. That does most of the damage. Of course, Maldini, you've got to remember, is 34 years of age. Has been on the books Milan for 19 years.
Scaladze and gives a hint of a push. Free kick to AC Milan. Sibieski on Kaladze. Hope you'll stay with us for our Sports Centre update coming up during the half-time interval. All the top sporting events or top sports stories from around the world. Quick summary coming up during the interval. Stay with us for that. Colli. Sprinting down this right-hand side, and eventually Maldini had to come across to cover and help out Kaladze.
Yeah, well, that's where Maldini normally would patrol in the old days, wasn't it? That left flank, but now he's the one who has to read the danger as it builds down that flank behind Kaladze. Saw the speed of Colli, made his tackle well-timed.
Colli with the throw and the head flick. Oh, Papa Buba Diop again proving his worth. Ghosting in, trying to direct it across the face of the goal. Decent spell this for Lens. Domer. Tall and a bit awkward, but certainly can play. Goal kick.
Yeah, he's a bit raw, isn't he? He doesn't have a lot of sophistication to his game, but makes a good effort. And here you see the tackle that time, leading with the left foot, coming over there. Not always the easiest or the best way to approach it, but the angle left him no choice. Confident tackle just after he'd been given a yellow card. That's so typical Maldini. Supreme confidence in himself.
Rui Costa directing operations in midfield for AC Milan. Inzaghi backing in and backing in. Seedorf comes to Diagne Fay. Inside the final minute of this first half, 1 minute of time to be added on for stoppages. Swashbuckling Colley.
Yeah, he has put the fun back in defending the square pass, hasn't he? Really, you can't make a simple square ball in this field because Colley's going to make a 40-yard run and nip the ball away and go at you full tilt.
Free kick to the visitors. Team that many people feel ought to have won the French Championship last season, pipped at the post on the final day by Olympique Lyonnais. This is Jocelyn Blanchard with the free kick. Several players up inside the box for Lens. Gobert is there, away by Maldini. Costa's header for Rivaldo. Bonk trying to hem in the Brazilian. Did so by fouling.
It's not been easy for Milan, has it? It looked like it might be, but it's not. Lens are sending a message that group of death or not, they are going to be a formidable opponent.
AC Milan have had a very difficult time breaking them down as Koulibaly concedes the throw. 30 seconds into stoppage time. And it's Kaladze with it. Getting it back from Seedorf. Rivaldo's in the centre, as is Inzaghi. As Lens try to keep the shape. And that they have done throughout this first half. No scoring at the San Siro. AC Milan's return to the Champions League after missing out last season. Plenty of aggressive play from Gattuso. Maldini, the one-player cautioned by the Greek referee Kyros Vasaras. Second half still to come on ESPN. Half-time score, AC Milan 0, Lens 0.
Sweden, everybody knows that I am the champ. All the ladies out there, they know.
Let's tell it like it is.
That boy even dream he whooped me. He better wake up and apologize.
Come on down.
You lucky he holding me back, man.
Take a ringside seat for the untold story of the man they call the greatest, Ali. Rent it on video, rent or buy on DVD.
There's great golf action all month long on ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Don't miss the world's strongest man competition every week on ESPN. Catch up on all the horse racing news of the week during Wire to Wire, only on ESPN.
AC Milan by no means having things their own way here against the plucky French outfit Racing Club de Lens. It's 0-0 after 45 minutes. Match day 1 in the UEFA Champions League. This game in Group G. Huge crowd here in Milan, and a large crowd as well at the Olympiastadion in Munich. But what a shocker there. 2-0 to Deportivo at the break. A pair of goals from the Dutchman Roy Mackay.
Well, this group is going to be just fabulous, isn't it? Milan struggling a little bit at home because Lens are so good. But Roy Mackay, 2 goals, and especially a killer goal just before the half. That's got to have Bayern shaking their heads as they go off the park.
We're told Mikael Ballack has struggled to get a kick at the ball in the first half. Ballack, the summer signing from Bayer Leverkusen. 0-0 here, however. Our coverage of the UEFA Champions League will continue after this on ESPN. Stay with us.
There's one game today. There's one. And they came to see us.
Yeah.
They came to see us.
Yeah.
All right? So we gonna win tonight. Listen, do not be afraid of excellence.
Yeah.
Win on 3. 1, 2, 3. Win.
Corner by hand to Marshall Falk. Inside the 5. He's in. Touchdown, Marshall Falk.
Way to go, Lion. I think we got our swagger back. Welcome to a running back's life.
ESPN's coverage of the UEFA Champions League continues for the 2002-2003 season with Group Stage 1 Match Day 2 featuring 2 live games beginning Tuesday. In the game of the day, Spanish First Division elite club Deportivo was home at La Coruña for a classic battle against Serie A power Milan. Then live on Wednesday, defending champions Real Madrid continue their drive for their 10th title when they welcome the Flemish flying attack of Henk. Welcome to the big show, the UEFA Champions League on ESPN.
And a warm welcome back from me, Derek Ray, and Seamus Malin. It's 0-0 in the Champions League here on match day 1. Frustration for AC Milan in the first half against the team that finished second in France last season, Racing Club de Lens. Well, Seamus, your thoughts on what was an intriguing first half?
Well, lots of possession by Milan, but actually the very best chance came to Lens when Moreira did a very good job turning here quickly away and firing on Dida. But he got down to it very nicely and gave away no rebound. That was in the 13th minute. And 8 minutes later, on the other end, however, there was what everybody came here to see, and that was a chance for Rivaldo to show what he can do. Again, he set it up very nicely for his left foot, but Varmus, the captain, in excellent position to take it very, very comfortably. Seedorf was at the outset to the provider that time. This time, he's the finisher with this absolutely spectacular bicycle kick on the ball played into him by Pirlo from the free kick. Fabulous stuff from the Dutchman, and prior to that, the Brazilian. And then the last good chance of the game of that half, Blanchard with a free kick, and it just dips down and outside the post as Dida looked a little unsteady getting over there.
Some of the facts and figures for you. 21 fouls all told, just the 1 yellow card to speak of. That was perhaps a little bit harsh given to Paolo Maldini just before half-time. AC Milan with a whopping 62% of the possession. Lens have struggled in that department, but that, I suppose, is no great surprise.
Well, they've had less possession, but they've made more of it in many ways than Milan has done.
So, a blank score sheet at half-time. Rejoin us after this short break on ESPN. We'll be back with the second half.
ESPN takes you inside the lives of today's athletes every week on The Life.
last night, the other team from the city, Inter, drew 2-2 in Trondheim with Rosenborg of Norway. And AC Milan being kept in check by Racing Club de Lens as we get ready for the start of the second half on match day 1. The referee, Kyros Vassaras from Greece, just making sure that everything is in order. Just glancing down the two sides, it doesn't appear that any half-time substitutions have been made. And it's Lens attacking the goal to our left in the second half. They got stronger as the first half progressed, it's fair to say. Simic lets the ball trickle out.
Well, you've got to be a bit concerned if you're a Milan fan about the inability to get much in the way of around the back of the Lens defence, or even to get some central shots on goal. Just 2 or 3 threats, which we showed you as part of the highlights. But these, where are the points going to come from in this group is what Milan has to ask themselves. Surely they thought 3 points here tonight, but not looking that easy.
Inzaghi is trying to play off the shoulder of Rigobert Song. Rui Costa, almost perfect for Inzaghi. Diagne Fay finding Colli. Ferdinand Colli, one of the most active players on the park in the first half. He drives it off Seedorf. Hope you're enjoying our continuing coverage of the UEFA Champions League, wherever you're watching around the world, at whatever time of day or night. It doesn't end here. Of course, Manchester United, Maccabi Haifa to come later in the day. Check your local listings for the times in your area. Now then, this is better. Inzaghi laying it off. Seedorf! Beautifully struck. And just inches wide of the post.
Well, is he claiming a corner here? He shouldn't get one, but he hit it nice and smoothly, but there was no deflection there. Very well set up, though, by Inzaghi, who took the ball so nicely himself and spun away from his defender. That's the best piece of play we've seen from Inzaghi.
Seedorf made his mark in the first half with that spectacular overhead attempt.
Yeah, and that, if you remember, was from a set piece. This last shot has been from the run of play, and that's perhaps what Seedorf needs to be doing a bit more. He needs to be getting in there to support the front players. There's a lot of yellow shirts back there to get through. Or not yellow, are they? They're so more like gold.
Now Seedorf going forward again. And Inzaghi and Rivaldo positioned inside the box. And perhaps a chance for Tomer to go forward. As Moreira supporting. Might be worth a pop. And Tomer just wide of the targets. But that is what Lens have to do to keep the Milan defenders on their toes.
And he got away from Pirlo. That's why all that space was opened up in front of him. And a bit of hesitation by the central defenders to come out and challenge him a little bit. We saw Liverpool pay the price for that yesterday against Valencia. But this time, Tomer was no Baraja in his finishing strike.
Lens suffered a few body blows during the summer. We mentioned earlier the sale of Diouf to Liverpool. Valeria Ismael was lost on a Bosman to Olympiacos. Plus their veteran defender Jean-Guy Valem retired. He decided to pack it in after all these years. So it's a new look Lens team as well. Seedorf, one of the newcomers for AC Milan. Inzaghi spinning and turning. Now Costa's drive. Colli trying to force it out of the danger area.
Well, this is better by Milan. Certainly they are now getting players back, players forward, deeper into the area, the back third, as it were, of Lens. Midfield players in particular being now much more aggressive, much more adventurous.
Misses out Simic. As Dummy lets Gattuso touch it. Pirlo. A more direct approach. Seedorf banged off his head more than anything else.
Yeah, and took it away from Inzaghi, unfortunately. Again, there's an example of players not playing together. See Inzaghi in there behind him? Had a player on his back, Inzaghi did, but that's never been a bother to him around the penalty area. Seedorf really needed to let that one go through.
Kaladze. Again, it's Inzaghi just trying to play off the shoulder of his marker, Rigobert Song. Rui Costa did well to get past Colli. Just overhitting it. Papa Bouba Diop. It's crafty play, and he's still going. And well, Diop deciding to let fly from long range, but he really is an entertainer. We saw that at the World Cup finals, and we're seeing it again here, Seamus.
Well, first of all, we take a look at what Rui Costa did, playing the ball in behind too. And then at the other end, a very good challenge against Nesta by Diop. And then he puts his head down and goes just straight for goal. But in the end, his shot is just way over the top. Well, end-to-end stuff at the beginning of this second half here. The game just needs a goal, and then you never know what might happen.
Seedorf, is he the man who can provide it for AC Milan? Rivaldo dropping back into a slightly deeper position now. Pirlo from his very deep position. That's rather a waste from Andrea Pirlo.
Well, a piece of fancy footwork here by Seedorf. Seedorf's been very much in the thick of things in this second half. Here he is on the ball right now.
Seedorf looks for options. Little flick from Inzaghi, offside. It's the decision. Gattuso made the run just to the left of Pippo Inzaghi.
Yeah, Gattuso, there he is, well offside. He got around the backside of Colli, but unfortunately he committed too deeply in his run. Here's the ball coming to him now. Yeah, very definitely offside. Well left by Colli. He played himself into the offside trap. Whether it was intentional or not is another question.
It's Kaladze giving away the free kick. And so Colli attempted to trap it. His trapping ability deserted him. Alessandro Nesta. Simic. To the home side. Gattuso's in position as Simic, like a terrier, races into the box. Pirlo again stays back. Simic continues inside the area. Gattuso and Simic. Inzaghi comes back to Rui Costa. Into that forest of legs. Interesting that it was Simic who really seemed to flummox the lost defenders, perhaps unaccustomed to seeing Dario Simic in that position. Well, Andrea Pirlo jousting for the ball with Papa Bouba Diop.
Well, this is a great attempt here to flick through. So we take another tough challenge, and here comes the yellow.
And yes, it's Papa Bouba Diop. Seemed to throw out the elbow that time. And so one booking apiece now. The Senegalese international has gone in the book. Here's why. Wasn't an awful lot there.
Now he reaches in and he's pulling and grabbing at him after the initial challenge. As we see again the replay of that little flick through. Lots of pressure now from Milan.
The game has opened up in the second half, no doubt about that. Andrea Pirlo stands up with the free kick. Inzaghi waits. Pirlo. And Seedorf continues his run. That's a corner. Came off Abdoulaye Diagne Faye.
Well, a piece from the training ground to try to break down the numbers, but not an awful lot of space to pull off those quick one-touch passes there.
Pirlo with a corner for Milan. Well, Rui Costa, no, rather harmless. And it's been a bright enough start to the second half, really, by both sides.
Well, there's what I talked about, not an awful lot of space in which to try to make that work, and Clarence Seedorf was the one who made the run. It's a lovely little ball through, but the tracking back is pretty good, and the ball just took much too long to come down for Seedorf to be able to do anything with it.
Vermoes not encountering any difficulties. Inzaghi tried to get in on the end of it. Of course, a wealth of talent available to Carlo Ancelotti on the bench. Jon Dahl Tomasson, one of the attacking options he has. It's hard to believe we won't see Tomasson before the night is over.
Yeah, he certainly had a fantastic World Cup. Really opened a lot of eyes in that after some indifferent club play in previous years, but...
This is Kaladze. Smacks it against Colli. 10 minutes into the second half here on match day 1 in the UEFA Champions League. Seamus Malin joining me, Derek Ray, for commentary.
Well, looking for scoring, you think about it, Milan have scored 5 goals this season, and 4 of them have come from Inzaghi and 1 from Simic. But I don't think Inzaghi has had a shot towards a goal at all in this match. He's getting into the game a little bit better now in the second half.
Rui Costa hovering on the ball. Maldini trying to loop it to Kaladze and ultimately succeeded in his objective. Colli got the ball from Diop. And Colli again made it a bit of an adventure, and it will be an AC Milan throw. Pirlo. Maldini. Kaladze. To take on Sibierski. That's a good cross. Inzaghi! A delightful goal from Pippo Inzaghi. Oh, Kaladze's cross was top-notch. And the placement of a header from Inzaghi, absolutely perfect. Verhoeven had no chance, and AC Milan have the lead.
Oh, I talked about them not getting around the back, but this time they put in the perfect cross. And what a phenomenal header. This is a great cross, but look at this header back towards the other post. That is tremendous piece of accuracy by Inzaghi. He does get away from Koulibaly, the defender, but that's where Inzaghi is so good. We talked about his not having a shot on goal. That's his first shot on goal, and look where it ends up, nestled in the corner of the net. Fantastic finish. And finally, Kaladze, as the left back, is the one who's able to get around the outside of the defence when nobody's been able to do it for 57 minutes before that.
Oh, that was brilliant football from AC Milan. Kaladze's cross right onto the head of Inzaghi, and from long range, the header that gave Verhoeven no chance at all. 1-0 to AC Milan. Here's Moreira. And the way the game had opened up, you just sensed that a goal might come. Put away by Nesta. Not decisively. Diop was there, and Blanchard likes to hit the dropping ball from about 20 yards out. That one goes wide, and Inzaghi having a bit of trouble with his shot.
Well, that's a replay of the goal. Again, the flashing header from a good 10 yards away. But it's the accuracy of it what really matters. Diving towards the ball and then flicking it back into the corner. Unbelievable header by Inzaghi. What's Gattuso up to here? Look at Verhoeven. He's really at full stretch. He really could not do anything more there. But it's so accurately placed. That's what strikers are all about. You do nothing for 57 minutes, then you stick one in the corner.
A quality goal then by Filippo Inzaghi. Header by Maldini for AC Milan. We'll see whether Lens rethink their tactics. Do have Dagui Bakari on the bench. Giant of a striker.
Yeah, not the most fluent of players, but a physical threat at 6'4".
And they have themselves a free kick here. Pirlo, the man penalised. Handball.
Bit unlucky there, I thought, but definitely took the ball away with the hand, although it was more played into him.
Jocelyn Blanchard. The free kick. Bonker's gone up to support Sibierski and Moreira. Diop, of course, very adept at making those late runs. It's Blanchard with the delivery. Job. Going after the ball, headed away by Rivaldo. Blanchard. And the chance for Bonk. Well, no pressure on Dida in the end. The quick-fire clearance. Inzaghi. They might be onto something now. Rui Costa. Inzaghi. Inzaghi again for AC Milan. Well, unable to get around Rigobert's song. Well, they almost caught the lost defenders napping.
But what a volley. What a remarkable volley in the end. At the beginning of this attack by Inzaghi, he just runs out of space here in time by one stride. That's a very good last-minute tackle. First-rate tackle by Rigobert Song. But the volley was fantastic that set this thing up in the first place.
Well, good news for Bayern Munich fans. A goal from Hasan Salihamidzic in the 57th minute at the Olympiastadion. 2 goals by Roy Mackay for Deportivo, but things getting very interesting in the other Group G match. We've reached the hour mark at the San Siro. AC Milan leading by a goal to 0, thanks to Pippo Inzaghi. Rui Costa trying to prise open the defence. Inzaghi again! Oh yes! He's taken the game by the scruff of the neck. Filippo Inzaghi stamps his authority on this matchday 1 encounter.
Well, what a tremendous run by Rui Costa, though. And Inzaghi is so good at posting up, setting himself up against the last defender. Rui Costa's dribble is magic. Watch this dribble now. Confidently past 1, past 2. And look at Inzaghi fight the defender away from him, spin around him. Absolutely fantastic finish. The defender really makes a mistake of being too close to him so that it's easy to quickly turn away. And there's no recovery room. And what accuracy on the finish. A great header just 4 minutes ago. A great left-footed shot now to give them a comfortable 2-0 lead.
Oh, that was sheer class from Inzaghi. As Seamus said, making sure the angle was right, holding off his man, getting into the perfect position. And Varmouze again rendered helpless. That's a long way back now for Loss. Job. Strapping away with Gattuso. It's a free kick to the home side.
Well, 2 body blows in the space of 4 minutes has turned this game on its head for the French visitors. This is going to be a tremendous group, this Group G, with Deportivo La Coruña and Bayern Munich. Matches to come. All of these matches are going to be very, very sparkling things.
Colli. And Lens desperate to get it forward. Rigobert Song. Colli. To get past Rui Costa. It's a meaty challenge if ever there was one.
Well, it's always Pirlo who's the one who's drawn into that, making that challenge. Because he's the player in front of the back 4. Quick free kick.
Nothing comes of it. They'll get another free kick. This time AC Milan get the decision. Gattuso and Diagne Faye together. Well, a double substitution to be made here by Lens. Diagne Faye and Tomer are the players being withdrawn. On comes Keita, that's Seydou Keita, the midfielder from Mali. And also John Utaka, the Nigerian, the man who netted the winning goal at the weekend in the 1-0 victory over Rennes, right at the death. And Joan Müller has been talking at length about him this week, saying he's becoming more and more important for the club. He's still only 20 years of age. Certainly a couple of attack-minded switches there by Joan Müller, Seamus.
Oh, very much so, yeah. If you take another look at this goal, look at him fighting off the defender here so well. And he spins away from him and puts it in the corner of the net. Terrific shot by Rui Costa. That is great stuff. But once again, Koulibaly makes the mistake of being too close, too bodily close to the attacker, because it's so difficult to recover when the attacker makes a spinning turn like that. If you're right on his body, then you are lost in the turn. If you don't leave a little bit of space, between you and the defender or the attacker, you've got no recovery room. And that's exactly what Inzaghi sensed. Used his body to spin beautifully. And what a finish.
Colli for a lost side now with 6 Africans featuring. Keita and Utaka, the men who came on. They must pay attention at the back. Seedorf had made the run out to the left, supporting Rui Costa. Inzaghi's double the difference here, and a very impressive pair of goals. These were no tap-ins.
It's remarkable. Inzaghi now has 6 of Milan's first 7 goals of the 2002-2003 season.
Blanchard doing very important midfield work for Lens. Keita perhaps still adjusting to the pace and tempo of the game. Inzaghi needs a bit of support here, using Rivaldo. There's their understanding, still a work in progress. Colli, and it's Seedorf who goes to ground. Ferdinand Colli trying to get Utaka, the substitute, involved. Well, that won't help the lost cause. But Bayern Munich have levelled the game at the Olympiastadion. It's the Brazilian Giovanni Elber. 18 minutes into the second half, so Deportivo were 2 in front, but now all even at 2-2.
Well, you just take a 2-goal lead against a German team, and it's like waving a flag, a red flag in front of their faces. They love to come back from 2 goals down. It's part of the folklore of German club and national team football.
Milan trying to turn on the style now. Inzaghi, confronted by Bonk and Colli. A sensible play by Inzaghi. Didn't have too many options. Made sure that Milan kept possession of the ball. Inzaghi again, picking up with Rui Costa. All the talk, of course, about Nesta and, to a larger extent, Rivaldo in the build-up to this game, but it's Inzaghi, the man who was signed at the start of last season, didn't make a huge impact last time around. Inzaghi is the man who is still on the headlines.
That's right, and Rui Costa. Rui Costa has done a wonderful job setting up that second goal and has looked very, very dangerous throughout the match. And, of course, Kaladze was the one who helped break this logjam with his wonderful quality ball played in from his left, overlapping left full-back position. There's no question, Derek, that Milan made a commitment in the second half to get players forward more, and Kaladze, as a result, was the one who got it set up. Now here he comes again, playing 2-1-2s.
Rui Costa looking for Kaladze on the overlap on the left. He's chock full of confidence here, there's no doubt about it. The Georgian who used to play for Dynamo Kiev. Here's Keita, man who had a lot to say on the park. I think his boots do the talking at the African Nations Cup in his home country of Mali just a few months ago. Followed by Pirlo. Rivaldo. Using Seedorf. Gattuso, it's all very methodical now from AC Milan, anxious to keep hold of the ball for straight Racing Club de Lens. I mentioned earlier AC Milan's problems in this competition, going back to their last season of participation. Couldn't qualify last time around. Kaladze, Inzaghi with the flick. Rui Costa was supporting.
They're having fun, aren't they, that duo? They're looking for each other, they're putting on the party pieces. The one player who's caused a little bit of a mystery to his own teammates, frankly, is Rivaldo. Every time he's on the ball, he's looking around, he's holding it well, he's not giving it away or anything, but he looks at a loss as to where it should go next, which is so unlike Rivaldo. But of course, remember that the Barcelona players knew how to read him very well, and the AC Milan players have yet to master that.
Two goals by Filippo Inzaghi here at the San Siro. Pass from Koulibaly. Blanchard. Colli. 20 minutes remaining. Keita crowded out by Gattuso. Keita tried to slip his man again. Gattuso was having none of it. It's a free kick to the visitors.
Boy, how'd you like to come in off the bench and the first guy you run up against is Gattuso? Missed it the first time, whacked it the second time. Keita makes absolutely sure the referee blows the whistle.
Might just be a half chance here, but well, the referee Kiros Vasaras spotted a bit of pulling and pushing, perhaps by Papa Bouba Diop.
He's trying to get around Kaladze, but he obviously is manhandling him a little bit.
Spanish football to come this weekend for those of you watching in Latin America. We'll start on Saturday with a derby from the Nou Camp, Barcelona against Espanyol. That's our Saturday game. Then on Sunday, Malaga against Valencia as we travel to the south of the country. Valencia, who you and I, of course, watched yesterday, defeat Liverpool rather handily in the Champions League.
Yeah, playing very, very attractive stuff, particularly through the middle of the field, and great supporting runs out of the middle of the field. They look a very good side. And Pablo Aimar, starting this year, just looking absolutely devastatingly effective up front, with a huge appetite for goals.
Seedorf and Rivaldo. Pirlo. Gattuso.
Well, 18 minutes to 19 minutes to go here, and I'll tell you, Lens are now chasing things that chasing a match against an Italian side that knows how to hold on to a 2-goal lead. Tough challenge for them the rest of this match.
Kaladze. And they really have had the moments in the second half of AC Milan. Rui Costa wins a corner for his team. Such a disappointing World Cup for Rui Costa and Portugal, but big things expected from him this time around.
Right, and he applauds the fans' applause of him, and they bring it up even louder.
Over it comes, and wasted on that occasion. Rivaldo was hoping for rather better service from Pirlo.
Oh, Rivaldo's in a good spot over there, and obviously Pirlo spotted him, but cross really didn't have the accuracy he needed. But Rui Costa, I think, is certainly the fan favorite. I mean, Inzaghi with 2 goals surely has to be, but Rui Costa is giving a tremendous display here, both in his imagination and in his effort, which is hugely appreciated by these fans.
Next match for AC Milan next week, it's on Tuesday in fact, will be away to Deportivo La Coruña. Lens will play host to Bayern Munich. Keita to make a bit of progress here, wrestled to the ground by Nesta. Not a quiet match for Alessandro Nesta, Seamus.
Yeah, it's been very easy for him in the last, well, since the second half began, really.
This is Utaka, the substitute.
Oh, he did very nicely, didn't he, getting around there. He unfortunately hesitated before he began that move, and a second defender was able to get back and provide the cover. If he pulled that little wonderful move of his initially right away, he would have been in alone and goal.
Diop. Well, he was trying to make the case that he was stripped. Referee didn't think so. Rui Costa. AC Milan very much in control of this game now. Need to have things bottled up. No handball against Colli.
Referee in terrific position there to see that it came off his chest, not his hand.
Utaka.
Well, who's going to fight now is the question for Lens. Who's really going to battle? And are they going to battle as a team, or is it going to go down to individual efforts? It's looking more like the latter in the last few minutes.
Rivaldo has Colli for company. A man who played such an important role in securing the World Cup triumph for Brazil. Rivaldo now playing his trade here in Milan, having left Barcelona. Good decision, I think, by the referee, saying that there was no hand. Almost inside the final quarter of an hour. Song just gets it away from Pippo Inzaghi. Be an opening for Utaka. Well, to get the cross in, and Moreira has hauled Racing Club de Lens right back into it. And credit must go to Utaka. It was an inch-perfect cross. An emphatic finish by Daniel Moreira. Game on at the San Siro.
Wow, terrific piece of work by Utaka here. Well, we see the cross at the end of it. That's an absolutely fabulous cross. And Moreira with a run across the defense, and everybody let him go. But the little piece of sprinting that was done by Utaka first, right here. Now watch him get away there quickly, and then the cross in immediately. That was just a bang-bang play, a quick sprint, a quick cross, and a quick finish. Really wonderful stuff. And the answer is that this team is indeed going to fight. And they got a goal out of a combination of two wonderful pieces of talent.
And that has sent shockwaves around the ground. These goals can be useful, even if Lens go down tonight. You never know when an away goal can come in handy when it comes to these very complicated tie-breaking procedures in the Champions League.
Well, it's a huge boost to their confidence too, that they can go to the bench. And Utaka, a very young player from Nigeria, can come in and make that kind of impact. There's the cross again, and that's a lovely finish. That's equal in quality to what we saw at the other end by Inzaghi. Wonderful stuff.
And Rivaldo now is being replaced by Carlo Ancelotti. Had to play second fiddle to others tonight, most notably Inzaghi and Rui Costa. And Massimo Ambrosini is the man who will take his place. Ambrosini's 28th appearance in European club competition.
Well, it's an interesting decision, isn't it, to take Rivaldo out. I frankly think it's been a bit of a disappointing debut for Rivaldo. He hasn't sparked very much. We haven't seen the Rivaldo we've seen in the old. Looks a little bit off the pace. And a little bit unsure of his teammates.
Aggressive play by Keita. Doing everything to get the ball in that tussle with Simic. Inzaghi. AC Milan, at least now mentally clinging on, seem to have the game won, well and truly wrapped up with a goal right out of nothing, as Seamus said. Utaka was the man behind it, and Moreira with a super finish. Gattuso and Rui Costa together here. Almost inviting the challenge. Not enough to force the corner to Rui Costa.
Well, Utaka got one game in the World Cup for Nigeria against Sweden. He has played in Qatar and Egypt for Ismaila, where he scored 19 goals. So he's a player who knows his way about the penalty area.
It's Pirlo's corner for AC Milan. Ambrosini up there, having just come on. And Colley, who's a very interesting player to watch. He certainly doesn't shirk a challenge. Ferdinand Colley. Now the break is on again for Moreira. Simic, Croatian international. It's good covering by Dario Simic. And Dida has the confidence to play it out to Simic again. Well, the goals are going in thick and fast at the Olympiastadion. Roy Mackay has scored a hat-trick.
Wow. Against
Bayern Munich. It was 2-0 to Deportivo thanks to Mackay at half-time. Bayern came back to level it at 2 apiece. Zali Hamicic and Elber were the goals for Bayern, but now it's Mackay, his third goal, Deportivo's third. What a game. Now a chance here, albeit Moreira didn't have the odds in his favour.
Well, that match in Munich is remarkable because, as I said, it's not uncommon for Bayern or Germany to come back from 2 down as we take another look at this shot that sails nowhere. But having come back to 2-2, to suddenly give away the go-ahead goal to the visitors, that's not part of the script. That's not part of the history of German football. Remarkable performance by Roy Mackay, especially, I said, Deportivo La Coruña in past years, Derek. Disappointed in their away matches, but what a start for them.
Approaching the final 10 minutes here. It's not quite as comfortable for AC Milan as I'm sure they'll feel it ought to be. So classic goals by Pippo Inzaghi, but Moreira with a splendid strike himself, making it 2-1 here. Koulibaly putting the pressure on Rui Costa as Ambrosini has a little accident with the ball. Sobieski.
Well, you see Inzaghi ploughing a lone furrow now. Rivaldo not really playing anymore, of course, was playing quite close to him. Ambrosini is not a front player. He's back in midfield, doing some midfield defending.
We talked about Jon Dahl Tomasson earlier. I can tell you he is getting ready to come on. Rui Costa. And again, it's Colli. Certainly had a big influence on this match, Ferdinand Colli. Blanchard.
He is entertaining, isn't he? He's never really out of things. He loses the ball, you think, and then he finds a way to win it back.
And that must be a free kick, yes. Moreira, the recipient of it. Gattuso waved away by Kyros Vasaras, the Greek referee. And Los are really giving it everything in these closing stages. Looks as though the substitution is about to be made here. Rui Costa is the man going off, and on comes another of the new boys, Jon Dahl Tomasson, the Danish international, signed from Feyenoord. Now what can they conjure up here? It's Blanchard, and the header from Ambrosini. I thought, oh, what an awful moment that was, directed towards his own goal.
Wow, that was very close. Ambrosini, of course, defending in midfield now. He was under some pressure, but it was nowhere near as close as initially it looked. Jon Dahl Tomasson, of course, a forward who'll be playing up front.
It's Moreira with the corner. And they're creating chances now. Racing Club de Lens. Sobieski was one of the men available inside the area.
This looked like it might have been taking a deflection off Tomasini for a corner kick, but the referee hasn't given it.
Don't forget about Sports Centre tonight on ESPN. That's if you're watching in Latin America. Check your local listings for the times where you are. All the Champions League highlights and goals. 6 p.m. if you're watching in the Sydney or Melbourne areas. A couple of hours later on New Zealand's North Island. 7 minutes left. AC Milan leading Lens by 2-1. A very entertaining second half here.
Very entertaining indeed. We saw just how that ball was saved in very nicely. Lens are still battling away here. They really are impressing. Look at this. Here comes Utaka again.
This has been the best spell in the game. Utaka wins the free kick. It's easy to see why Joel Müller has been singing this young man's praises.
Yeah, it very definitely is, Derek. Tremendous pace he brings to the game. And total confidence. They have to foul him here. There's no way to stop him otherwise. He's terrific going around the back.
Also remember of Nigeria's World Cup squad. Lens made a substitution, in fact. Dagui Bakary on for Jocelyn Blanchard. He can add much needed height here. And so the whistle of the referee came to the rescue of AC Milan. They were under the cosh again. Kaladze just taking a bit of a knock in the back of the head.
Well, these set pieces have been a nightmare for the Milan side, they're being constantly out-jumped at the back here. Watch this one right here. Really, it's all the visitors who are up in the air for that. And it was just flashed wide. Really, a lot more athletic ability in the jumping part of the game. Utaka's in. Now, Bakary is another front player, so they're going really all out in attack here with Butaka, Bakary, and Moreira as the front three to try to get the tying goal.
Well, AC Milan are clearly worried about the aerial threat posed at set pieces by Loss, because Martin Lauritsen, a Danish international central defender, is about to come on for Pippo Inzaghi. So that will give AC Milan extra protection on the aerial stakes. But what an outing by Inzaghi. 2 quality goals tonight.
Yep, here we get a look at his first one. A tremendous diving header. That was absolutely magic. And then, of course, another look at it. And then he's spinning away terrifically from his defender, Koulibaly, to get the second goal, which is now looking to be the winner if they can get through these last 5 minutes. And I wouldn't bet on it the way Lens are playing.
2-0, everything was ticking over nicely for AC Milan. They just lost their way. They let Loss back into it, but now Seedorf, and it's the perfect ball. Jon Dahl Tomasson. Well, not quite hitting the target. Tomasson, the 26-year-old Dane.
Yeah, but this is what the fans want to see. The early ball to him, the forceful run, and then at least the confidence and willingness to have a whack on goal. They didn't see any shots on goal from Rivaldo to speak of, except for one, which was comfortably saved. But this is what they expect to see from the Danish player.
Koulibaly used a hand, free kick to AC Milan. Not surprisingly, they're in no hurry at all. Both sides then have used the full allotment of substitutes. Here's Pirlo. The header that time wasn't terribly convincing. It's all the way through to Dida. Bakary, the man we talked about. We actually saw him last season playing for Lille, local rivals of Racing Club de Lens. He switched sides during the summer. I'm a bit surprised that he wasn't actually named in the starting 11 tonight by Joel Muller.
Yeah, I was expecting him to be so as well, but not so. Being a preference for Thomas, really.
See if Tomasson can win it. No hands again. Doesn't please the San Siro faithful. Koulibaly, Song. But under Bakary. Very easy man to pick out. He's a giant of a striker. Was it a hands? Could have made the case. Nesta. A bit of grappling inside the box. Nesta as the recipient of the free kick.
Yeah, Nesta's cramped up. It was on the previous piece of action, actually, on the challenge towards the left touchline. They just had to keep playing on, but eventually the whistle helped him get some attention here, but it very definitely happened. It was not on this piece of play, but it was on the previous piece of play. I noticed that he was grabbing for his calf. But he's such a competitor, they have to foul him to stop him from playing. A foul by number 8, Keita, from Mali.
Well, Nesta will have to hobble on here, with the 3 substitutions having already been made. 2 minutes left for stoppage time. We hope you'll stay with us for a post-match roundup here on ESPN after the final whistle. A lot to talk about. Highlights to show you from last night's matches. All the scores from tonight as well. I'll say I've enjoyed this second half. Plenty of good football on offer.
Yeah, well, the first half was an intriguing encounter in some ways. Didn't have as much action, but you felt there was the potential for the game to break open. And thanks to Rui Costa and of course to Inzaghi, it did just that. But lost to their credit, got their stride and hit back.
Over the head of Bakary. What do they have left in them? Racing Club de Lens. Colli. Certainly on this form, they won't be pushovers. Lens in Group G. Koulibaly. Blanchard, the link man in midfield. Bonk. Now Colli. And looking for Bakary. Thomason, Seedorf. Colli. That's very much Colli's game, isn't it? You'd think would back him to win those tussles 9 times out of 10.
But look, it's right. And look at Clarence Seedorf, though. He tracks back in the 90th minute and creates a throw-in, even though he has been going full steam for the entire match. Such a total professional, Seedorf. It's been a great battle over there, Seedorf and Colli. I think you're right. This long side is going to create some problems around this group, and they're going to be fun to watch.
3 minutes of time to be added on. Nikolaos Agelakis, the 4th official, holding up the board. That is confirmation. Koulibaly has been playing at left back tonight. Challenge comes in from Colli. He wins it in lusty fashion. Bakary tried to keep going. And a chance now for AC Milan to punish loss, but in no particular hurry here. Gattuso. I said it last night during the Rosenborg-Inter game. I'll say it again tonight. This is very much the Italian way. There's no great feeling about killing the game off, scoring a 3rd goal. It's more a question of, well, hang on to what we have.
Well, we're getting a replay of a terrific piece of defensive work. Again, the tackling and winning that ball by Colli. But then Gattuso coming all the way from left midfield. He does the honours for his side, winning it back. Yeah, certainly you can say it's cynical. You can say it's just simply pragmatic, Machiavellian or whatever. After all, he was the first Italian strategist, if you will.
90 seconds into stoppage time. Ambrosini looking for Thomason. Seedorf. And that will suit AC Milan down to the ground. And Seedorf goes to ground. Berson stamping in. Pirlo with the short free kick. Simic. It's beginning to look as though Lens have run out of steam and, more importantly, out of time. Gattuso jousting for the ball on the right. AC Milan very content to just hang on to the ball, frustrate Lens, and go home secure in the knowledge that 3 points have been recorded ahead of that very testing fixture next week. They have away to Deportivo La Coruña. Maybe Lens can give it one last go. Up and under from Berson. Nothing comes of that. Koulibaly. All eyes on the Greek referee, Kyros Vasaras. Utaka, remember the name. And we're going to see plenty of this young Nigerian in the Champions League. He has himself a free kick.
Well, is he bundled over here, or does he just fall over? I think he just fell over. That challenge was perfectly fine from Seedorf, but the referee will have let this one more attack, and they've got the height advantage in here now. This could be last-minute fireworks here from Lens.
This could be rather interesting. Watch out for Bakary, watch out for Utaka. It's Keita with the free kick for Lens.
He took it too early.
Well, the fans were a bit puzzled for a second. I think they thought, well, maybe the referee is blown for full time, but no, he wasn't satisfied. We'll take it again. We've had almost 4 minutes of stoppage time now. And what will result from this? Referee making sure all the nonsense is cut out. Keita again. Boos from the home crowd. It's Keita for Lens. Is there a chance as Milan tried to clear the lines?
Foul.
Well, the foul quite clearly inside the box. A free kick, a wry smile from Paolo Maldini, and I think AC Milan have got out of jail.
Well, Larison made a mess of it. Maldini looked like he made a mess of it, but it turns out he was hacked from behind. But they almost blew it at the last second.
4.5 minutes into stoppage time now. Surely we're about to hear the final whistle, and we do indeed. AC Milan hanging on for a 2-1 win against a very spirited Lens side. And a bit of back chat even after the final whistle. Gattuso, no great surprise there, as one of the key protagonists in that battle. But Lens deserve plenty of credit. They showed tremendous energy and the wherewithal to come back after Inzaghi had scored twice for AC Milan. Moreira with the goal for Lens. A 2-1 win for the home side on match day 1.
ESPN gives you more of what you want from a sports channel. More variety, more championships, world-class coverage, world-class stars, the best sports, the biggest names, original programs, premier events, one-of-a-kind specials, 360 degrees of sports, 365 days a year. ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.
Cowboys come with 4. Carr with time. Complete down to the 5. Got end zone. Touchdown, Billy Miller. Are you kidding me?
He swings and sends it back up the middle. Tejada has it. Look at this double play. Get into center field off the end of the bat. And a sliding grab made by Hammonds. Looked like he slowed up to make that sliding catch. This is Morton from the 5. 20, 25. He broke free. 45, 50, to the 30, the 20, 15, 10, 5, full game.
Goal ESPN has the best football coverage on the planet. Press Pass, with its exclusive panel of journalists, analyze every Friday the happenings in the football world. Find out the news and the buzz that moves the best leagues on the planet. UEFA Champions League Weekly offers highlights and interviews of the Champions League. The best football on Goal ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.
Well, last night in the UEFA Champions League, let's go through the results. In Group A, a draw in France between Auxerre and PSV. Arsenal defeated Dortmund after a dazzling second-half display. Dennis Bergkamp with a classy goal, Freddie Ljungberg with the other. Wins for Basel and Valencia in Group B. Basel in the Champions League for the first time, the Swiss standard bearers. Valencia, you and I saw them, Seamus, devastating against Liverpool.
Yeah, wonderful work up front by Aymar and Baraja in particular. They looked like the team to beat in that group.
Moving on to Group C and a 0-0 draw in Belgium. Racing Genk up against AEK Athens. Meanwhile, Real Madrid, the defending champions, coasted to victory against AS Roma. And a couple of intriguing matches in Group D.
Well, Ajax certainly had a good start out because Lyon are a very strong side. And what a battle between Rosenborg and Inter. It's very difficult to go up and play in Rosenborg. And they were ahead, but Inter caught them at the end and held on with 10 men.
As Fabio Cannavaro sent off a pair of goals for Hernan Crespo in that match. The other half of the City double act, AC Milan, got the win they were looking for tonight. 2 goals from Inzaghi. They have defeated Lens by 2-1.
This programme was brought to you by Amstel Light, a UEFA Champions League sponsor.